I'm so excited, as you probably know, about this book, Never Give Up, Stories of Perseverance. I've had many, I could just keep going, times in my life where I just wanted to give up, throw in the towel, and just like put my head between my legs and just cover up and just roll into a ball. But these stories here in this book are really intended to help to inspire you to keep going. Like, what are some things that you are thinking of giving up on right now that you could use that inspiration, that motivation yourself in order to keep going? I'm excited to introduce you today to one of our authors, Caryn Isaacs. She is one of the authors in this book, Never Give Up. And Caryn, I'm so excited to have you in this book because your story of perseverance is just one to really motivate and inspire people to move forward. So thanks for being part of this.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I want to talk about your journey, your journey of never giving up. First of all, have you always been the type of person that doesn't give up and or have you been the person that's felt like giving up and you just keep going, or have you been like me? I used to say I was a quitter. I used to say I was a quitter. So where do you fit in that area?
Yeah, I think everybody feels badly when things go wrong. So I definitely have had a good cry, blame the other people, blame myself. But I think when you have a dream, and you have a passion, it just comes back. And that's when you know that you can't give up.
I think that was a key there. It's like you said, a dream and a passion. Where do you draw that distinction between a dream and a passion?
Well, your dream is I would love to be from here, working a 9 to 5 job, just starting out in a field. I think I know how to run the place better than the boss does. And I dreamed that I'm the boss. I opened up my own place and 1 million people are coming and I have a load of money. The passion is that feeling that you wake up with in the morning and there's something that's ignited in you and saying, I'm going to put this down on paper. I'm going to make this happen.
Make it happen. Yeah, because that's that passion has to drive us forward, right? In order for us to keep moving forward. I know Les Brown, he says, you got to be hungry. And to me, that's that passion, that burning desire inside of me that keeps me going. And have you always been passionate about what you do? Or is this more of like a newer development for you?
No, I think I've always been that way. And probably, I say I was very lucky. I had very supportive parents. And so if I thought of something, gee, it'd be nice if I could do this, they would say, oh, you could do it this way. Would you like to take lessons? I know that was a great advantage for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a great advantage, but it doesn't take away from everything that you've done. So you have in this particular book, your chapter title is Everything Old is New Again. So why don't you share with us, what is that all about? What does that mean?
Yes, well, I mean, obviously I am of a certain age where I had many different opportunities to give up. But I always had this same idea about helping people. It was just a driving force that I saw certain injustices in the health system because my father had passed away when I was still in high school. And I had gone with him to many appointments over the years. And we were privileged to see a health system that was very forward facing for our area. So it wasn't like we were in a little room just alone with an old doctor. I got to see many advances in medicine come forward in those days. And by being angry about my father passing, regardless of the fact that he was given those opportunities, I became interested in the health field. And then each time I would be in a different situation in a job, I entered through the dental field, I would say this has to change. We have to do something about this. And so those things that I was involved in, and in the book, I tell the stories of the different the events that led to where I am now, which is that nothing really has changed very much as far as some of the injustice ideas. We have new technology, we have a lot of new medicines, but the way that the health system operates hasn't really changed. And so that is, now being touted again. It has new names, patient-centered healthcare. Same baloney.
Same baloney, just different names, right?
Yes.
Well, some call it baloney, some call it bologna. So it's just right, the same kind of thing. Now you have this program. It's called Aging Icons, and why don't you share with us, like, what is an aging icon? How did you come up with that name?
Yeah. So, Aging Icon is a call to action, and it's to say that people who have a concern because they either have a health problem or they just can't do things the way they were doing them due to just getting older, that they still can continue to search after a new passion or continue their passion. It's just that they don't know how. And other people will be telling them, you're too old, you've had a heart attack, you can't do it anymore, you're going blind, you shouldn't really drive. I find a way for them to be able to continue to do the things that they love, regardless of those problems.
That's fascinating. So if you're working with somebody who is going blind, like you mentioned, going blind, stop driving, how do you help them to realize that that they can still drive in certain ways? Is that what you're doing with? Explain to us what you do with somebody who is going blind.
I use that because I have poor vision, peripheral vision, and I had a few accidents, not crashes. I would scrape the side of my car, and then after I wound up having my insurance go through the roof, I realized it was time for me to stop driving, and so I hired a driver. I have a driver on call. There's many different ways, depending on what the person's activities are, that they can do that. It could be volunteer drivers in certain situations. There's, many ways to get volunteer drivers, or, I'm in business and I have people that will be in the car with me. I have to lift wheelchairs or walkers into the trunk. And I said, why should I do that? So I'm looking at it as a positive. It's not that I lost the ability to drive. I don't have to pick up the walker anymore. I have somebody right out the door waiting for me when I come out with my packages.
Yeah, actually, as you're talking, I'm like, I actually love that idea. Having a driver. So maybe look into that sooner before it's necessary, because that's what a treat that is. It was like one of the things that I'm looking forward to having is a full-time maid and cook and driver. So that's some of the things that I want to have in my life. Why not explore those now instead of waiting?
Yeah. And definitely, cleaning services, organizers, those are all things that, people think, no, I know where everything is. I have to do that myself. So giving people the permission to say, could be a positive. And that's what makes you say, I'm not giving up my autonomy in my house. Actually, I stay with my cleaning people. I watch them, what they're doing. That allows me to, feel in charge. I'm delegating it, but I don't have to clean anymore. I don't want to be sticking my hands down in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to be doing that unless I dropped a ring down there. So which actually did happen once. That's a whole other story. So we're talking about the book, Never Give Up, Stories of Perseverance. You can get the copy of the book at actiontakerspublishing.com/never, as well as we have several of our authors have given away free gifts. So go click on that link, actiontakerspublishing.com/never. Go get your free gifts and also go get a copy of the book. So Caryn, I'm curious, first of all, you can connect with Caryn. I forgot to mention this. You can connect with Caryn at gethealthhelp.com. And Caryn, what are we going to find when we head on over to your website?
It's really the process of how I work with people. It describes it. There's a couple of videos from some of my favorite clients who are aging icons. Mm-hmm. And it talks about my process of having an initial interview for free on the phone. And then if you're interested in meeting with me, goes through how I work together with you. There's a place for you to fill out if you'd like to have me contact you, or you can call me directly.
Okay. And are your services in person only, or do you also do virtual?
So I have recently been doing virtual as well, because there are some things that I can do virtually, but some of the things when people are alone and they do need to have somebody act as their power of attorney or patient or healthcare proxy. And I really work within an hour of where I am in New York City, because I'd have to be able to get there. And so if somebody is comfortable with just getting some advice, a lot of times I can give them the free advice on the phone and it doesn't cost them anything. And many times I can give them the information after having the assessment. I give them a follow-up with the names of people who are in their area, because I am in several different organizations that for people who are patient advocates. And so I can recommend people all over the country.
Okay, that's awesome. And you mentioned you travel an hour, because you're in New York City. And I'm not sure about New York, but in San Diego, an hour could literally be like 3 or 4 miles. So sometimes, right, with traffic, you never know what you're going to get. Never know what you're going to get. Caryn, I would love for you to share with our audience today. What is something that you would like the readers to take away from reading this book, Never Give Up?
Well, I think I'm hoping that people will see that over a long period of time, over a 50-year career, that I had consistency in what I was doing. And that, I think, was the success in being able to, see my dream and my legacy come to fruition. Was that many times there were gaps where I would walk away from it or think that it had to be done a different way. But by regrouping and also seeing that there were changes in the environment, in the business environment, in the healthcare environment, and just changes in myself, changes that I realized I had to make, that I was still able to follow my dream.
I love that. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that and sharing your message in this book. Again, we're talking about the book, Never Give Up. Go get your copy at actiontakerspublishing.com/never. Go get your free gifts over there from the authors. And Caryn, I want to thank you so much, bringing in this book, for sharing your message, being part of this. And thanks for everything that you do to help others, those aging icons, to not feel like they're old. So I think that's a big deal right there. Thank you.
We're all aging because the alternative is not existing. So
yes, exactly.
Here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sally and Linda, this is my third book with you guys, and I'm just so excited and honored to take these steps with the two of you. It has been so much fun. And like you said, it's just the procrastination sometimes is just like, oh my God, I got to write my chapters.